leaders face. Tell somebody. The temptations leaders face. I was finally thinking I should title it to be The Temptation We Face. But I decided to leave it as The Temptations Leaders Face because we're all leaders in one capacity or the other. In one way or the other, we're all leaders. It's either you are leading in your home, or you are leading at work, or you are leading your community, even among friends, amongst association, country. In one way or the other, we're all leaders. If you are a mother, you are a leader. If you are a father, you are a leader. If you're a minister in the house of God, you are a leader. So we are going to see the temptations leaders face. We've been studying a series of messages on Deuteronomy, while Moses was about to leave the people. Moses had the last message for them. And this message covers every aspect of life. He knew that they were going to a new place. They're going to experience new things. They're going to see what they have never seen before. Some of them were born in the wilderness. There's nothing else they know but wilderness. They know only camp. They know only tent. They only know manna. They have not seen other things than all these things they experienced in the wilderness. Now they are going to a new country. They're going to a new land. They're going to a new city. The city they did not build themselves. They're going to live in homes they did not have to pay any mortgage. God is going to give them everything as he has promised Abraham. So then Moses was kind of telling them what they have to do so that they can enjoy the land. So in chapter 17 of the book, Deuteronomy, Moses got to a stage where he told them that they need to have leaders. And he itemized the temptations that these leaders will face. And for these leaders to be successful, they must take notice of these temptations. There are so many temptations we can face. But these three fundamental temptations are such that if we failed to take care of them, they may eventually destroy us. And these temptations are power, sex, and money. Now, I've been saying this in some of the messages, but we want to take time in this series for me to explain to all of us. If you are going to be successful in this life, either as a leader in your office, either as a leader in your family, either as a leader in the church, either as a leader in the country, you must overcome the temptations that power, sex, and money will bring your way. They will come. This is not either you are praying or you are not, it's not, it's either, it's like I'm praying or that. No. You will be tempted. Power, sex, and money. Now, if you look at the world today, you see, I want to thank God for the Bible. The Bible is complete. Nothing is new under the heaven. The problems that we have in our world today, either in America, either in Asia, either in Africa, Europe, anywhere in the world, the problem that we have today, either in our political system or in a secular system or in business, the problems that we have are power, sex, and money. Now, look very carefully what is going on in areas in the world where they are fighting. I was talking to a Cameroonian, a colleague of mine in the office. He came to the wedding last Sunday. We were just talking about what is going on in Cameroon. In Cameroon, the southern Cameroon wanted to go because the northern Cameroon that actually speak French are trying to oppress them. Not even trying, they are oppressing them. But the northern Cameroon that speaks French will not let them go because they own the resources. You remember Bakassi? They have oil in the southern part of Cameroon. The northern Cameroon are saying, now if you go, what are we going to have? The desert? That is, the money is in the oil money. It's in the south. So the northern Cameroon will not let the southern Cameroon go. And what did they do? They are oppressing them. They are killing them. Go and watch video. Watch the YouTube or news. See how people are dying in Cameroon today. I want to talk of Nigeria. And recently I was reading about the news in Nigeria. The middle belt. They are telling the north, listen to me, if we are going to break in this country, we're not going to go with you. The middle belt are telling them, we're not going to go with you. Who will go with desert? And do you think they're going to break like that? Because it's just like if the delta people in the delta part of Nigeria, people in the River State, if they say, oh, we are going to go, you think the north will let them go? That is where we have the money. Now, if let us assume that there's no oil in Nigeria, it will be easy. People will want to go, go. Go and manage your cocoa. Go and manage our groundnut. But the oil is money. It's going to be hard for the northern part of Nigeria to let the south go. Because that is where we have the money. You remember the Ogoni people? That's why they have the money. It's how they killed the Ogoni 10 and all this story. Go and read it. If you take out that money, take out that resources, and people say they are going to go, they tell them go. Just like if the northerners should tell the Nigerians now, let's say Kano or Maiduguri, sorry to tell you this, I've been to most part of Nigeria, honestly speaking. I traveled on the land, I traveled on the sea, I traveled in Nigeria. I've been to many parts, even the rural areas in Nigeria because of my work when I was back home. There are some places you go, it's so dry that if you are not careful, you get blind. You have to pay yourself. You have to drink water. You drink water out. So let's say the northern we just call the remaining part of Nigeria. Let's say the Kano, Kaduna, all those Sokoto, and say, okay, we are going. What do you think the other people will tell them? Thank you very much. Segobe Odabo. Kashefonu. But they won't want to go because of money. So the main problem of the world today, the main problem is centered on power, sex, and money. So Moses called the elders and was talking to all these people, and he was telling them they will have about 4 leadership. They have to have 4 leadership role. And all these leaders must be very careful as they lead. So they're going to have 4 offices. Let me just give you briefly the offices, and then we go through this one. They're going to have the office of a judge. They're going to have the office of king. They're going to have the office of priest, and they're going to have the office of prophet. Now, in this series, we're going to analyze this one by one for you to understand. And you can say, oh, we are not Israelites. We are not going to the promised land. So, Pastor, why do you want to know this? You have to know. Nothing is new under the heaven. Ask the families. If there's any, I've counseled many families. This little time I've been in this world or I've been a pastor, I've counseled so many families. When they come on the table for certain things or the other, usually the problem is money. No, you can bear witness with me. If husband and wife are quarreling, look at it very carefully. The main reason why people quarrel is money. If there are friends and the friends are quarreling among themselves, or there's association, the association are fighting, go and dig deep. The main reason they are fighting is money. Money. And what is the problem? Greed. So power, sex, and money are the temptations we all face. If there are two friends, I was talking to another colleague in the office. He told me, one day he was just trying to speak out. I think these things has been bothering him. He was looking for him to talk. Early in the morning, I got to the office, and he just called me. He said, Emmanuel, do you know what? If you don't want to have a problem with your friend, don't exchange money. Don't be exchanging money with him or with her. I said, what do you mean? He said, if you have a very close friend, if you can avoid borrowing each other money, you have less problem. He said, once you begin to borrow each other money, he said, wait, problem may come. I said, why do you say that? And he gave me the story. His friend wanted to go into business, to buy apartments and, be renting it out. So he told this guy, and this guy was, this man helped him, gave him the, either co-sign or credit. He gave him something that he co-sign or he gave him credit, and the man bought the apartment. Lo and behold, the dream was not exactly the dream. The whole thing changed, and the apartment was not like the thing is going to produce money, and then the credit card money cannot pay back. This man, they reported this thing. So, and his friend was telling him, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. He was explaining to him, it's the market, it's the market, it's the market. And this man was saying, the man told him, he said, the only thing I have in this country is good credit. And look at my friend. My friend destroyed my credit. And they were so close. They were close back from home, close from Africa. I don't want to give you details. I don't want to be putting one and two together. Of course, you can know these people. If you're going to know them, I'm not going to tell you this. But I just want to make this to be practical for you, this thing to be very close to you, so you can understand what we are talking about. Look at churches today. What do you think is going on in the church today? Look at Africa. What's going on in the church today? If a church is having a problem, look at it very carefully. Is it that power? Is it that sex or money? Some of the pastors that you see today or ministers today that are deceiving people. In fact, I was thinking of showing you some things. Deceiving people. The recent one, I think 20-something people died, even if that had something people, a pastor telling people they want to send out demons from people, ask them to drink bleach. Oh, you say, watch out the news. This is not, see, the social media is exposing so many things today. It's in the social media. I'm not making it up. He asked them to drink bleach. It's in Africa, either Zimbabwe or somewhere in Africa. He asked them to drink bleach so that they can kill demons. And about 20-something people died. The man is looking for fame, power, sex, and money. The other time, one said they should bring a stick to the church. They should bring sticks to the church so they can beat their demons or beat their enemies. Everybody brought sticks to the church. The other time, the one pastor told them, bring all your underwears to the church. You see various kind of colors of underwears they brought to the church. They want to anoint it so that they can be fruitful. Power, sex, and money. These are the temptations we face. Nobody is exonerated in this one. Either you are a pastor, either you are a teacher, or either you are a manager, either you are a man or you are a woman. It doesn't know any boundary. It doesn't know any gender, no race, no. Everybody is facing this temptation. Now, if you're going to have a successful, peaceful life, you must take time to understand this. And when that temptation is coming, you must guard yourself against it. If you want to enjoy peace among your friends, you want to enjoy peace in the church, you want to enjoy peace in the family, you want to enjoy peace in the country, in the nation you find yourself, guard your loins, prepare yourself against the temptation power will bring to you, sex will bring to you, and money will bring to you. There's some men, they believe that as many women they can sleep with will determine how powerful, how much they can conquer. Some people, they take pride. As soon as they finish sleeping with a woman, they go to their friends. You see what happened to me today? Oh, yeah, I got, They will say with pride. Whereas women will think it's a secret thing. It's secret. What is secret? Once you do anything like that with a man, it's no longer secret. Because that man is going to tell his friends. You may not tell your friends, but that man is going to do what? Because power, that is his ego. Yeah. I slept with a colored person today. I never had that experience. I've been sleeping with black. Now today I have another experience. Look, put off the light. If kids are here, I don't think we have any kids kids are in the basement. Put off the light. It's the same. What? Is there any difference? Power, sex, and money. The temptations we all face. Even presidents of countries. What do you think is going on in America today? What do you think is going on? What do you think is going on? Power, sex, and money going on today in this country. If any politician is going to fail or is going to go down, is it that through absolute power that will corrupt him, or is it that through sex or through money? Because this country, they will try to expose you. Your opponent will try to define you to make sure that if they can get you that you are not stable when it has to do. Do you understand? They said somebody was running for presidency. The opponent, they want to take him because they say he touched people too much, especially touching women. They say he hugged people too much. Now, they are not saying he was sleeping with them. They say he was doing what? He was touching them, he was hugging them, he was touching them, he was hugging them. They want to use that against him. See? So I think you are with me this morning. Okay, we're going to take our time to go through this step by step. If you are going to be successful as a man, even as a man of God, as a pastor, you're going to be successful. You must overcome these temptations. Power, sex, and money. If a church is not going to have crisis, if you don't want to have crisis, you must try as much as possible if you're a leader to control this area of temptations. Otherwise, either positively or negatively, the devil will try to come in to destroy that place. And the most deadly weapon devil can use is either power, is either sex, or money. God forbid. God forbid. God forbid. You will not be comfortable if I come this morning and announce to you that, well, I think I have I just make up my mind. I want to have I want to have another young girl. This is going to be a teenager. He will do better. Are you going to be comfortable? No. Oh, you are not going to be comfortable. You're going to be looking at each other. We think this pastor doesn't do this kind of thing. No. What is going on? Your minister will call each other. They will be calling. They will be phoning each other. They will be calling. I know people will be saying no. Why? Because you think it's not normal. And you see that after doing it, I will find a way to cover up. And to cover, when you abuse power, to cover up, you take more energy than when you make effort to prevent abusing power. When you violate the principle behind sex, it will take you more energy, extra energy, to clean up the spill that abuse has caused. And when it has to do with money, money is not the root of all evil, but the love of it. If you love, there are some people, $10 is very big in their sight, and they are ready to destroy anything because of $10. People can even kill. Some people can kill because of love. That's how much they love money. Some people, they love money that when they hear money, they shake. If you can overcome the temptation money can bring to you, I can tell you, your memoir will be read by generations to come, and they will praise God on your behalf. But so many men, I've read so many men can overcome the adversaries, or they can overcome the enemies so much, but to overcome the temptation money we bring, it's hard for so many men. It's very hard for so many men. So we're going to see these 3 temptations that we all face. And there are 3 main temptations. Don't forget them. Can you tell me the first one? The second one? The next one? If you see any family that is successful, they have taken care of these 3 things. Some men, their ego is the problem. It's what they are facing, and that's under power. They will have listened to their wives. Maybe they would not have been in the situation they find themselves. But power, ego, I am the man, I have the power, I have the muscle. Yeah. You don't have to tell me that. I have to tell you that. You are my helpmate. You are to help me. You are my helpmate. You are to do what? Helpmate. And they will pump that ego. They will not listen to the counseling of their wives. And that some of us, we cannot part with our money with our partners. We cannot part with our money with our partners. Some people, they will tell their partners, listen, this money is for me. I am your wife. Your money is for us. My money is for me. I decided to go and work. I don't supposed to work. I just decided to go and do what? I don't supposed to work. You are to provide. You are the provider. You are to do what? Provide. Stand up and go and get more money. There was a time we were talking to a couple, and the couple was explaining, the husband was explaining to the wife that, listen, this is my income. This is my income. The wife was telling us right in the meeting that, look, if your income is not sufficient, go and get the second work. For some men, for some women, if they will not see their husband 24/7, as long as he's going out and he's bringing money, they are okay. That is the problem money can bring. You prefer not to see your husband at all. I'm not talking about certain circumstances or certain situations you cannot control. Your husband, you are living on the same roof. You prefer that man to go out and be working, and you don't care about his health. You don't care about what he's facing there. You don't care about his own, his thinking, or you don't care about his feeling. You just say, go and work and bring the money. Even when the man is sick, you still want him to go and do what? That's how much some people, they love money. Money, the love of it, is the root of all evil. Some have killed precious partners because of money. Some people will kill their children because of money. When we were treating, you remember when we were treating Celebrate God in Your Life? Moses, in that chapter 16, before we jump to 17 to explain this thing, Moses told them of 3 celebrations they must have every year. The first one was Passover. Do you remember that? For them to remember when God took them out of Egypt that night. He said they must remember that Passover when a lamb was killed and they marked the lintel of their houses where they were in Goshen. The second one was celebrating the Feast of Weeks. Do you remember that? Then the third one was celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles. I was not able to explain that to you in detail. I was thinking that we have part 4 of that Celebrate God in Your Life and explain that. But time did not permit us to do that. But something we can learn from the celebration of the Feast of Tabernacle is such that Moses told them, once in a year, you must go into a tent. You build a tent and stay in a tent. For you to remember, while you are in the desert, you are living in tents. Now that you are in the city, living in posh houses, you will not be able to forget God, and then you will not kick against Him. So, celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles, which they call the Feast of Booths. So if you look at Leviticus 23:42 says, you shall dwell in a booth for 7 days. All who are native Israelites shall dwell in booths. And when he was telling them in chapter 16, 13 to 15, he said, you shall observe the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days. When you have gathered from your threshing floor and from your winepress, and you shall rejoice in your feast, you and your son and your daughter, your maidservant and your female servant, and the Levite, the stranger and the fatherless and the widow who are within your gates. 7 days you shall keep a sacred feast to the Lord your God in the place which the Lord chooses. Of course, that will be Jerusalem. Because the Lord your God will bless you in all your produce and in all the work of your hands, so that you surely rejoice. So, what do you think is important what do you think is how important do you think celebrating booths, the tabernacle, will be for these people? So they can remember once in a season, in a year, they can remember why they were living in tents, why they were living in booths in the desert. And then for them to also remember that all these things that you have, all these material things you have now, they are not permanent. They are for a while. One day you will leave them. Just as your body is also a tent. One day you will leave this body. It's not permanent. Have that experience. Remember that God gave these opportunities to you. So once in a while, in a year, go and build a tent. Live in a tent to remember the experience your fathers had while they were in the wilderness. So, we all have to understand one thing. Moses was not just taking this time to explain this thing to them, but Moses wanted them to be able to enjoy every resources God will give them or God has provided for them. And for them to remember that, to enjoy that, they must know that this world is a temporary place. They must know that God has given them the opportunities, and these opportunities He has given them, they must not use these opportunities against Him, nor against their neighbors. So, if you are in a position of power, if today you happen to be a leader, remember that one time you were a servant. Remember that one time you are not in that position. So do not abuse that power. Remember, if you have the opportunity to have money, you must remember that they have wings. Money has what? Wings. That money can fly away anytime. So do not allow the temptation money can bring to make you love that money overcome you. Surely that temptation must come. But it's not an issue of if temptation will come or not. The issue is you must not allow that temptation to overcome you. Amen. Also to all of us. Either you are pretty or you are not pretty. You may be thinking you are not pretty. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. You may be thinking you are not handsome. You are handsome. You are pretty. You are beautiful. Remember that. And when the temptation of sex will come to you, you must not fall. You must stand. You must remember that it is temporary. You must remember that nothing is permanent in this life. So, before we pray this morning, let's see what Moses said. Let's open with me to Deuteronomy chapter 17. Deuteronomy 17. So that we can see these three elements, these three temptations controlling the world today. From verse 14. When you come to the land which the Lord your God is giving you, and possess it, and dwell in it, and say, I will set a king over me like all the nations that are around me. By this time, Moses was talking. Where was Samuel? Who can help me? Where was Samuel? When Moses was talking here. Where was Samuel? Thank you. Samuel was not born. But Moses was like prophesying here. It's that there will be a time you will have a king. So when Israel now told Samuel, get us a king, what happened? Samuel thought they have rejected him. But he went back to God. God said, do what? Give them a king. Because it's in their destiny. They will have a king. So when you have that king, verse 15, you shall surely set a king over you whom the Lord your God chooses. One from among your brethren you shall set as king over you. You may not set a foreigner over you who is not your brother. So you have an office of a king. You will have it. But when you are going to have that office of a king, it must not be a foreigner. It must be an Israelite that will rule over you. But that king will face the temptation we are talking about. Power, sex, and money. And Moses gave the solution to overcoming these temptations, which we are going to see together. Verse 16. But he shall not multiply horses for himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt to multiply horses. For the Lord has said to you, you shall not return that way again. Now Moses said, when you have that king, tell that king, he must not be tempted by power. So remember in those days, when you know if people are strong, if people have military power, it is the number of horses that they have. Because what they fight with that time are what? Horses. So if you are a king of a nation, the number of horses that you have will determine how much you can overcome another nation. Just like what is happening today in the world. Some people are, the way you know military power today is how many ammunitions, how many fighter jets they have, missiles, whatever, chemical weapons of mass destruction that you have. Today, America is the superpower. America is the, you don't mess with America. How many horses do you think America has today? If you are going to fight as a nation and you are shouting, I have horses, they will be laughing at you. Horses. You think you are in the wilderness or you think you are in the horses? What will horses do? One small cake. They will sell one small cake and kill all your horses. But at that time, horses will determine how powerful you are. So Moses told them, when you have the king, warn that king, he must not have many horses. Because if he should possess so many horses, he's going to fight against so many nations. He's going to fight wars. Don't let that king have that power. It's a temptation. Once you gather horses for yourself, then you are saying you want to fight other nations. You want to fight even your people, your own people. You must not gather horses. Horses gathering denotes power. Do you get me now? So Moses was telling them that you're going to have that king, but warn him not to acquire horses, not to acquire political or military power. Go to the next one, verse 17. Neither shall he multiply wives for himself, lest his heart turn away. Sex. When you have this king, and you're going to see how it affects other offices, like office of priest, office of, all this office of king, office of judges, and this. You see how it affects those offices. But he said here, in verse 17, neither shall he multiply wives for himself, lest his heart turn away. Once, if you are a Christian, that is why for a Christian, are you listening to me? I want to be down to heart with all of you. I want to be down to earth with all of you. But I know there are some so-called Christian leaders. There was a time I was told of a pastor. He has 3 wives. He built 4 flats. I'm talking of evangelical pastor. 4 flats. And he has 3 wives. And each of those wives will occupy 1 flat in the same building. And he himself occupy 1. So 4 flats. He occupies 1. 3 of his wives occupy each of those other flats. I don't know how he's managing it. So what's going to happen? Is he going to be sleeping in that flat, or I don't know how he managed the roster. I don't know. I don't know how he's managing it. But I can tell you the man had hard time. He died when he was in his early 60s. He died when early 60s. God help us. Oh, Moses was just saying this thing to you are going to a new land. Watch out. If you're going to be a leader, you are going to be successful, you're going to enjoy the land, you're going to live long, you must overcome the temptation power will bring to you. You must overcome the temptation sex will bring to you. You must overcome the temptation money will bring to you. And listen to me very carefully if you are going to enjoy your life. You may not like my face. You must overcome temptation power will bring to you. You want to enjoy peace? Stay away. What will it give? It's temporary. Sex, stay away. Come on, stay away. Don't let this destroy you. Or money. Some of us, I don't know. Hey. Let's see the end of that verse 17. It says, nor shall he greatly multiply silver and gold for himself. What do you think silver and gold will mean in that time? Money. They will not say dollars. Because I don't think America was born then. So they will not say dollars. They will say what? Silver and gold. Even in the market today, some people, they go and buy gold. They think gold is more stable than anything else. So silver and gold are pointing to money. So when you have all these king, or you have the judge, or you have the priest, all these offices, warn them. They must not do what? Nor shall he greatly multiply silver and gold for himself. The problem that's going on in the world today is this. These are the problems going on in the world today. Look at Africa. Everybody is robbing Africa. Everybody. Look at what Chinese are doing today now. Chinese, because of our leaders. Chinese are trying to recolonize Africa. They are in Nigeria. Chinese. I'm telling you the truth. Who are going to sell us again for second slavery? Our leaders. Our leaders. Once you call them and tell them we're going to get you a house in Dubai. We're going to open an account for you in Swiss bank. They will put on their bag, they will be loud, and they will sell their generations. And their children will also partake in that problem. They will sell their generations. Some of them are in their 50s, some are in their 60s. How many years do they think they have to live that they will gather all this silver and gold for you, all these millions of dollars in Swiss bank? How much can you spend per day? You know, our people sometimes, they are fools. And these people, they also have problem of power, sex, and money. If they give you $10 from your own money, already they have taken $1,000. Do you understand what I'm saying now? They give you, as a leader, they're telling you, we're going to give you this, for example, we're going to provide you water in your village. They tell you that. And you went to your village, say, I'm bringing water to you. I'm bringing water to you all. I'm bringing water to you all. And the person is going to bring water to you, said, we'll take care of you. Don't worry. We'll give you one in your village. Not only that, we're going to give you a brand new SUV. So when you go to the village, you don't need to go without your car. You go with, with SUV. They give you that. And you're happy. Once they come to you and ask to sign the paper, you will sign the paper. You will not even read very well. Moses was even warning them. He was telling them about bribery and corruption, that they must not allow, they must not take bribe. We're going to get to that side. I'm going to read that to you, that you must tell them not to take bribe, because bribe will blindfold them. And that's what's going on today. If you are going to be successful, a good leader, either a leader in your nation, this is just a preamble. Because of time is going, it's just a preamble. We're going to take notice of each of these temptations. Power. Say after me. Power. Sex. And money. Before you come back to part 2, this is part 1. You on your own, go and study, go and read about power. Go and read history. Look, let me put this down. Other than the Bible, read history and see what happened to our generations. You talk of Napoleon, read history about that. You talk about, what do you call it, Ayatollah Khomeini, or you want to talk about Saddam Hussein, you want to talk about, what do you call this guy, the German that killed all the Israelites, or Hitler. Talk about all this. Look, talk about what they did. How cruel they are, how wicked these people were. And you will see what power can do, how power can destroy, especially absolute power. And read about the sex life of some of these leaders. We are told about Saddam Hussein, what Saddam Hussein was doing and his children in Iraq when he was alive. About sex, how they will have a lab, when they know that there are AIDS and everything, they will have lab, and you will be tested instantly. Money does all these things before they have anything to do with you. You'll be tested, pass through all the tests instantly. They know if you either have this or not because they want to enjoy it. They don't want any protection. And talk about money, how these people how they spent money. Some of these leaders, how they will buy the whole nation because of money, how they will divert things and settle people and destroy their countries. Read about what that can do. And read about what's going on even in the stock market today. Read about what's going on among the people in the country today. Some leaders are in jail today. Some leaders in this country, they are in jail because of the issue, because of the law. If not because of the law that is in this country too, they will have destroyed this country. Power, sex, and money will have done what? Once you are caught, they must teach you how to play the game. Now, I want to say this before I close. The people that are not caught in this land, in this country, because this is the land of the law, it has nothing to do, either you are black, red, or blue, or green. If you are corrupt, the only way you can escape in this land, I want to tell you this, is you use people to corrupt for you. And they go to jail for you. Do you get it now? The only way you can escape in this land, they will look for, especially federal government, they will look for evidences. If they are still holding you on your fingers, federal government will not come to you. Before federal government will come to you, they are holding you on your waist. They hold you like this. So you can run. But if they are still holding your finger, what you can do like this, they won't come to you. They don't want liability. So people in this land that are corrupt with power, sex, and money, the only way they can escape is they use people. I didn't do it. Did you see me do it? The money is, where is the money? And the guy who is holding the money for them, we do what? We go to jail for them. The guy can come back from jail and they can take care of him, but they will not go. They will go. So don't go to jail for anybody. Are you listening to me? Don't do what? You are not comfortable. Say what? No, I'm not doing it. Father, we thank you, bless, worship you because you are so good. Thank you for the opportunity we have to listen to your word as we continue to peruse these temptations that face us, the temptations that all leaders face, or the temptations that leaders face. As we study this, Father, we are not just studying this, but we are studying this to help us so that we can live a successful life, a life that is pleasing unto you. Father, help us, let us be able to look at ourselves as this is a mirror, and that we can correct our appearance so we can be pleasing unto you in the mighty name of Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity you have given to Moses to address your children for the last time before he died. And this address, we are reading it today, we are studying this today because they are just common factors. There are things that can help us. He said so many things that can help us, that can make us to live a successful life, that can make us to live a life that is worthy. So, Lord, let it be that we will listen to you And then we will shape our lives in accordance to your instructions so that it can be well with us, well with our souls, well with our generations, well with our family. Thank you, precious Father. Blessed be your name, O God. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed. Amen. Praise the Lord.